you look at him, he might have some skills somewhere.
Coming up on today's show, things get hot and steamy for Dan in the kitchen. We learn the importance of always massaging your lemons.
So you get more juice out of it when you squeeze it.
Expert kitchen cleanliness. A chicken gets its temperature taken, and bags of self-confidence.
Yeah. I've had a go at making pizza before. It was alright, give it a 6 out of 10.
We're in Woodhouse, where third-year student Dan lives in this 4-bedroom house. And he's up for the challenge of actually cooking for himself.
From the basic stuff that I have done, I think I can do it all by instinct now. I don't think I need to follow recipes as stringently anymore. I think I'd like to challenge myself, because I think I'll be able to cook whatever it is I'm cooking very well.
Nice and positive then, Dan. Today he'll be facing Chad, a fellow third-year student who lives in this city centre apartment, and he's a bit of a foodie.
I like being able to make my own food, make it taste nice, have people around. And I've been cooking, since I was about year 9. I did cooking classes in GCSE, so I've been cooking for a while, and I do quite enjoy it, yeah.
So let's take a look at what the boys will be making today. The main course is a homemade chicken Kiev with a side of their choice, and for dessert, a creme brulee. Sounds tough, so what do they make of that then?
I've made those things before, that shouldn't be alright. Yeah, let's do it.
Full of confidence then, Chad.
Creme brulee?
And not so much for Dan.
You having a laugh? Did Chad write this?
Yeah, he doesn't seem too keen.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty tricky. I've never had a creme brulee before.
Well, to be honest, Dan, I shouldn't think too many students have. Unless, of course, they live in a place like this. I reckon someone who lives here will be able to tell us a little bit about a creme brulee.
So the classic creme brulee is sugar, cream, eggs, and a bit of caramelised sugar on top.
Told you.
And with a flavouring of vanilla. I'm gonna twist it up a little bit and add some passion fruit and make it kind of more tropical flavour, more interesting.
So, Chad makes a start on his interesting brulee by preheating the oven and slowly warming cream over the hob before slicing and scraping 3 passion fruits into a jug. Dan's lagging a bit behind though.
Right then, creme brulee. I'm gonna have to take a trip to the shop.
So while Dan goes hunting for some ingredients, Chad continues to race ahead and has some advice for us about lemons.
A little tip with your lemons, if you want to get more juice out of them, always kind of roll it, kind of massage your lemons first, and then you get more juice out of it when you squeeze it. It's the same for any citrus fruit, so whether you're making cocktails or lemon meringue or whatever, just squeeze your lemons and then you'll get more juice.
Oh, Chad, you minx, you've done that on purpose. Chad squeezes his lemons into the passion fruit before adding sugar and stirring, but Dan has a unique take on the creme brulee as well.
My variation on it is going to be a raspberry creme brulee. When I say raspberries, the shop that I've just been to didn't sell them, so I'm using blueberries instead. Berries are berries though, you've got to make do with that.
Great. While Dan makes do, Chad continues to de-seed a vanilla pod and add the seeds into his mixture. Back at Dan's...
Don't actually have any idea what you do with this.
Wonderful.
Google.
Chad cracks on. Well, hey, see what I did there? By adding eggs into the mix and sieving it out. Now educated on vanilla pods...
Come on, Madeline. Hope you've got the magic.
Dan still manages to add the pod and not the seeds to his mix before also adding eggs.
Right, is this a yolk? Is this a yolk?
Yes.
That'll do.
Meanwhile, Chad is channeling his inner Mary Berry.
We want to cook it using the bain-marie method. So you put it into 6 ramekins and you put it into a roasting tray with a little bit of water around the ramekins, and what that does is it stops it from getting too hot, because obviously it's made out of egg. If it got to hot temperatures, then you would end up with scrambled egg, and no one wants that.
No, they certainly don't. Goodness, well, Dan's mixture isn't looking too bad, and he places his blueberries into the ramekins before adding the mixture. Now, just the hot water to add before placing them in the oven.
Right, so I'm going to pop these in oven and bake
Dan.
for 40 minutes.
Dan, wait! The bain-marie method, Dan! They're going to burn, Dan! No, never mind. Well, at least Chad's look alright. Onto the chicken. The boys start by tearing some bread and blending to make breadcrumbs. push down and twist, Dan. Goodness me.
I can't actually get the thing to work. So
Yes, because you need to push down and twist.
twist with clockwise or anti-clockwise.
Yep, just twist it. Chad fries bacon before chopping garlic and parsley and adding butter to make the filling for his Kievs. Well, hey, well done, Dan. Chad cuts pockets into 4 chicken breasts and adds his garlic butter and bacon filling.
Now, I'm not the biggest fan of garlic in the world. I don't particularly like cooking with it because the smell of it is pretty revolting. So instead, I'm gonna stuff the chicken breasts with soft cheese and ham.
Ooh, gourmet. After stuffing, the boys dip their breasts into flour, egg yolk and breadcrumbs to make the coating.
There's always the temptation to lick the soft cheese and have a nibble at the ham, but then I remember I'm handling raw meat here. Probably be a bit of a silly billy idea to do that.
Yeah, so whilst Dan remembers his basic food hygiene, the chicken is now prepped, and after a quick wash of the hands, it's time to check on dessert. Chad's looking lovely there, in the water. They're now ready for the fridge. And Dan's... well, they're certainly cooked.
Yeah, they look fine.
If you say so. Chad pan fries his chicken before baking and makes a start on his side of broccoli mash. With his creme brulee now out of the oven, Dan too is onto the sides.
Right, I'm now going to move on to my wedges, and because we don't have a potato peeler in this house, and I'm not very adept at peeling them with a knife, we're going to be healthy and have skin on wedges. And as you can see, I've got like a range of spices and ingredients that I think will boost up the flavour. A nice bit of Cajun. Rosemary always goes well with potatoes. Oregano, give it that nice Italian herby kick, and salt and pepper.
When Dan's wedges are suitably seasoned, it's time to put them in the oven with his Kievs, where Dan is on to round 2 in his battle against kitchen appliances. With everything in the oven, the boys pass the time.
We're playing well at the minute, come on lads.
And before you know it, the chicken is done. Well, Chad's look nice, and while he checks the temperature of his meat, Dan scrapes the remnants of his into the bin. Well, the only thing left to do is plate up and serve, and presentation's everything, right, Dan? Not quite what I had in mind. Well, I think I know which main I'd rather eat. I'm not a fan of wedges that have been on the floor, but what about those desserts? After a sprinkling with sugar, Chad gets his chef torch out and caramelises his creme brulee. Stunning. Dan uses up the world's supply of sugar, and now he's going to use the torch as well. Oh no, wait a minute.
Right, it's fine lads. Cheers.
So, whose was better? Tweet us at Leeds Student TV using the hashtag Chef Chad or hashtag Chef Dan. See you next time.